Yo, um, this is Rolando G, guys. Man, I'm actually in a situation right now. I gotta help out a family member, and I'm at a family member's house when I'm doing this video. Um, I'm gonna try to address the elephant in the room, man. I just been so overwhelmed. I just got back from a trip, going to Rio de Janeiro, or Rio de Janeiro, or however you want to pronounce it, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Last week from March 2nd to up until March 9th with a couple of guys from who were some content dudes. I just wanted to try it out to see where I was at, with kicking it with other dudes, collaborating it up, going out just for guys type, travel, as they say, girls, homegirls travel or our girls' night out, whatever whatever you want to call it, but traveling, with other dudes, to make it a group thing, to make it a little more safer when you're traveling overseas in these foreign countries, as and respectfully, I've been so overwhelmed lately. I'm not gonna cap because when you're a guy that has come up in a world of you've been sheltered from a lot of things, certain things do blow your mind, and it's not my fault because I didn't either I wasn't exposed enough, which I wasn't, and lately I've been following a lot of channels, Premo, Petro, Premo only premium, um, Ryan, shout out to Ryan, his channel, Vacation Time with Ryan, um, uh, Razor Ray's show, Razor Ray's, his show, and being a part of this so-called travel space and getting involved a little bit and throwing a little shade out there because myself, and I'm not perfect either, and I don't think I've really have garnered that type of attention or whatever because I just say what I say. And first off, it was SYSBM, and then Passport Bros came out. And I was wondering about this, and I never considered myself, I was always into international dating. Number one, and I'm not gonna make this video long, was because I was tired of getting the shutdown that I was getting here in the States. And this is a real thing. And my argument to Primo, Mama Gente, my boy, I love your channel, but you got to understand when you brought up that guy named Czar in that clip talking and putting down guys, I'm not even co-signing for Passport Bros. I'm just saying guys in general who feel like they can't do better here. And they're looking at the situation here. There's a lot of women already hooked up with other dudes. There's not a lot of single women out here looking. And every time when you try to approach a single woman, what does she do? She's already got a boyfriend or she's got another side dude. Come to find out, you don't know. When you're hooking up with these fellow chicks in your area, in your so-called Estados Unidos fellow area, a lot of these women are not really looking. A lot of these chicks, I've noticed, to really be honest, are just as socially awkward as the guys that other guys are talking about. They don't want to make conversation. They think you're lame. They think you're boring. No woman wants normalcy in a relationship, especially dealing with this generation that we're in. And I blame it on the Gen Y Z millennial that we're coming up with. There's very few Gen Y Z millennials and early born millennials, women around my age, who think like this. I'm just saying, Primo, everybody's not got game like that. I wasn't brought up with game. My dad didn't show me the game of how women are acting because he was dealing with the era of my mother's, of the women of my mother's era. Woman that he married was a fellow woman of within his era. Before my parents got hooked up, they were just friends. My mother to this day tells me she didn't want to marry my father because she looked at him as a friend. So that's saying a lot about my own mother. She was playing that card back in the day. Then somehow my dad finessed it and got her. And And my thing is, I'm looking for a woman who's not going to play games with me. I'm not about gaming. What is game? What? Just what? Showing yourself and that you got a little bit of wordplay to a female so that she can make you think. Women are not even going by that nowadays, Premo, to really be honest. And this is just a fair argument of how game is not really what that white boy said, Sar, that podcaster guy said it is. He's a white dude. We already know how white dudes get down. They're the most sought after guy, more than I hate to say it, us as men of color. I'm not trying to make it a race thing. I'm just spitting facts. Now, us as fellow brothers, we are getting our just due now. We're coming up. We're dating the Latinas. We're dating the white male counterpart, the Caucasian, Becky, Ling Ling, and Maria. We're getting Becky's. We're getting Ling Ling and Maria. Some of us, most of us than some. But some of us got to work a little harder. Some of us got to look at the personalities. And I'm into women who got a certain old school personality. That's what I'm coming from. I'm 42 going on 43. I'm not in my 30s anymore. I'm looking for something solid. And I'm not out here simping. Please believe I got receipts. The one time I did it was with a stripper. And that was what? Back in 2011? I will admit that. But that was a different story. I was trying to get a little bit of something extra. But that's a long story within itself. Don't you know I have been on dates where the female abruptly did not like what I was saying? I was having good conversation, being very assertive, getting into good conversation, downright intelligent conversations. She just checked out, walked out. And I'm living in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it is not fun out here when it comes to dating. You got to have everything going. You got to have the right kind of car. You got to have the right kind of job. If you don't, I might as well hook up with a fellow coworker in the security field, but I don't date coworkers. I got female coworkers every day who eye me, they looking at me in a certain way, and they might show a little interest. I don't know. I'm not really tripping. I don't really want, half the time when I get female attention, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I'm like, wow, okay, I must look good to a female. I must look good, but I'm humble about it. I don't try to go out here and say, oh, how fly I look. I was hanging around some cats on the trip that were acting like that. When we were in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, shout out to those brothers that can do that. I was there to relax. I wasn't there to see how many mulher, brasileiras I could get up under my belt. I talked to a few. We exchanged WhatsApps. That's all I'll say about that. Whether those materialize and I go back and I visit her and hook up with her, that remains to be seen. All I'm saying is I'm not advocating for passport bros, because what passport bros has turned into is mongering, going overseas, promoting like you're hooking up, but you're hooking up with pros. Okay, if you want to see it that way, I understand it. But Czar is coming off very idiotic with that message, because some men here in the States, it's not possible to find a decent female. It really isn't. Half these females ain't even got their own lives right. They out here on struggle. They're like Don Robinson of En Vogue, homeless. Come to find out, the chick you're dating, she's living up out her car. This is the other side of the conversation y'all won't have. What are women doing to bring stuff? See, everybody wants to defend women and, oh, women are women and the guy got to do this and the guy got to do that. Oh, yeah, the guy got to have the game and he got to, but you ain't looking at it from a realistic perspective. And the challenges of the current dating market, women and men are probably both losing here in the States. And then some dudes are like, hey, look, I'm looking for that traditional woman that I could be with. Not traditional, but a sensible woman that wants to build with me. Not just start a family with me, grow up, get together, rock with each other, grow a business. You can be your own small version of Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So that's what some brothers are looking for when it comes to these overseas type of foreign women. And then some guys are successful. So why hate on that? Why try to spectate that like it's, oh, this dude is lame because he's not getting anything over here? Some dudes can't get it. I'm that guy. I've been on dates and they've been trash every time. And I was the one putting out, having a good rapport, dressing nice, having good conversation. The four women I've dated in the past didn't want to hear that. Come to find out, some of these chicks had some dastardly stuff that were going on. Then somebody else dated them and told me about them. And I'm like, wow, bro. Hey, thanks for giving me the heads up. And I never looked back. There was another situation of a Brazilian lady that was here. She invited me to a bar where she was talking about she was dancing in front of other guys. I was really into her. She invited me to this. I came there one night. She was drunk off her. Her keister, bro. And then come to find out, man. Next thing I knew, one day I see her about 7 years later. This is 2015. She was skinny as all get out. Looks like she was very sickly, man. And you know what happened with that situation. You know what she had, right? She had that germ, man. And you know what I mean by the germ. And to this day, the last I heard, she passed away from that germ. So, there's the other side to this conversation. A lot of women are not bringing anything to the table but a lot of manipulation, control sometimes, and living very lascivious lives that put them in the grave just as such as another dude out here doing the same thing, putting himself in vicarious situations to where their health and their wealth fails. So that's all I got to say about this. Rolando G. I'm back in the Bay Area trying to figure out my next move, y'all. We'll see. Thanks for watching. More to come. Sorry I've been gone for a long time. That's all I got to say. And it's still SYSBM. Brothers improving themselves, traveling, doing their thing. I'm out.